Good morning, Gemini. Don't forget to click that like button, guys. All right? Subscribe if you haven't. Gemini, I'm hearing you have somebody that is watching you. Okay? They're watching you. They're trying to find a flaw in you. Now, you have showed some kind of sign of having extraordinary, I would say extraordinary talents, abilities. And this person's like, no, there's no way that somebody could look like that and be this talented and have this ability. So this person has been keeping an eye on you and they're just trying their best to catch you, to find some kind of flaw in you, and they can't find one. They don't know what to do. They feel that it's unfair, you know? They feel like it's unfair that you have these abilities. Meanwhile, you're just doing your own thing. Meanwhile, you know, what I'm hearing is that you've had a really hard life. Right now, things look easy, according to this person. According to them, your life looks so easy. Everything's coming so easy to you. But that is so far from the truth. I'm hearing you've had a really hard life. You've had to struggle so many times in your life. You know, all kinds of bad relationships, money problems. You could be struggling financially right now as we speak. But of course, this is your personal business. It's none of this person's business. The things that you've been through, the relationships you've had, none of this is their business. But this person wants to find out. What it is they want to find out anything that they can use, like to tell people about you. Like, oh yeah, Gemini's been married 3 times. All of their spouses left them. Yeah. That kind of thing, just have that kind of attitude. Like, yeah, Gemini's been fired before. Yeah. Whatever it is, right? Just something to say, something. Just something, even if it's just that, which is no big deal. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Like, who really cares? If you've been married 4 times, who cares? Or you had a boyfriend or girlfriend, who cares? Right? But the thing is that anything that this person could say and to make it into something negative, it's like a sponge. They're just trying to soak in something. And this person has been talking about you, because they're trying to find out more about you. They feel like, this is not right. This is not fair. How is this possible? How is it possible? Because this person really believes that, you're not in debt. You don't have debt. You don't have money problems. Everything's so easy for you. They really, truly believe this. Everything's just been handed to you. You were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. You don't understand the struggle. This is what they truly believe. They truly believe this. They think that you don't understand. You don't understand the struggle. You don't know what it's like to count your pennies and trying to move money around to buy groceries. They think that you just walk in there and buy whatever you want. And maybe you do now. Maybe now you can. But it hasn't always been that way. But this person doesn't want to see that. They don't want to look at that. That you worked really hard to get where you are. They don't want to see that. That you studied. I mean, yes, you do have talents and skills. But you worked too on them as well. I'm hearing like not everything came so easy for you. But this person doesn't want to see that. They don't even want to talk about that. They just want to find out any kind of dirt that they could use. That's it. That's all they care about right now. Hmm. It's like anything that you say at this time, I just want you to know anything that you say at this time, this person is going to turn anything around if they can. That's the thing. If they can. If they can, they are going to try to turn everything around. They're going to try to twist things around. Twist it. Make things appear in the more negative light. Why? Because somebody is like, wow, did you hear about Gemini? Gemini did this and Gemini did that. Did you hear that Gemini was able to do this? Somebody's saying these things and this person doesn't like it because it's like, oh, why is somebody talking positive about Gemini? How come this person isn't talking positive about me? And that's how they're looking at it. You're taking something away from them instead of realizing that everybody takes a turn. It's not always sunny everywhere, right? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, everybody gets a turn to shine. Everybody gets a turn to have good news. Everybody gets a turn to have bad news. It's just the way life is, right? But this person doesn't see it this way. This could be a family member, and mom and dad are saying something good about you, or grandma or grandpa, right? For some of you, this is a family member, and it's like, they're like, no, 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 don't say this about Gemini. What about me? Remember what I did last year? Last year, remember I did this, this, and that. Remember? Let's talk about that. So this person tries to change the conversation. They're trying to change this conversation around, but they're also trying to like find things out more about you. Just something that they can be like, oh, did you hear Gemini? And then whatever it is. Something that they could twist, something that they could turn, something that they could make into something negative. And they're trying. They're trying. They're like, bringing you up in conversations, but they just don't want to. They don't want you brought up in conversations in a positive way. That's the problem. Because you know what? If somebody's talking about you in a positive way, that person's not going to want to talk about you in a negative way. And that's what this person doesn't want. There's a level of competition going on here. Okay? Maybe the two of you have done something that might have been the same. Like, I don't know, maybe you both played the French horn. Maybe you both were cheerleaders. Maybe you both were football players, right? Well, the both of you did something that was the same and you ended up being better at it. And ever since that point, because you were better, now they feel like they need to outshine you. They need to be one up on you. If you buy a house, they buy one bigger. If you buy a new car, then they have to get, a more expensive car. If you buy this, they got to do that. Whatever it is, right? If you start a garden, they're going to start a garden 3 times bigger than yours. For some of you, you might have an A-type personality where, you set your goals and you work really hard at them, whether they're, financial goals, personal goals, spiritual goals. Like I'm hearing, it does not matter, right? What kind of goals you give 110%. You very well could be an A-type personality. You need things to be in order. You need to do things a certain kind of way, which is actually something that's helping you. You're a go-getter. That's what I'm hearing. And this person, instead of appreciating that you have encouraged them to be a better person, instead of appreciating that you have pushed them to be more than who they normally would have been if you weren't in their life, like instead of appreciating you, they resent you. You see? They resent you instead. And it's like, why? They would not be where they are if it wasn't for you being in their life. That's the thing. And this person doesn't see it. They would not be where they are. They would have accomplished something in their life, and then that would have been it. That would have been all it was. They would have accomplished something. Say, let's just say, like, they would be the first person to go to college and graduate from college, and then that would have been it. After that, no other success, no other goals. That was it. That would have been it. But you are in this person's life, so they should be thanking you because you're making them challenge themselves. You're making them want to be more. Yes, it's competitive, but there's a difference between healthy competition and unhealthy competition. They could turn this, they could make it into a healthy competition. But no, now, see, they can't compete with you. So now they're like, okay, I'm just going to turn the tables and I'm just going to, make people look at Gemini a certain kind of way. Like, oh, okay, you did this, but yeah, look what you did there. Oh, well, look how that turned out. Oh, you picked that partner, so yeah, you picked them and y'all got a divorce, so yeah, take your responsibility. Even if it wasn't your responsibility and this person knows it, they're still going to try to make it seem like your marital failures were your fault, even if it wasn't, right? Or your financial problems or situations in the past were your fault, even if it was just circumstances out of your control, like the company closed down, which, what are you supposed to do? You can't have all power over everybody and everything, right? But this person is going to turn things around. They're like, oh, but Gemini could have did this and they could have done that and they could have saved the company. Something extravagant like that. Like, what? How the hell? But yeah, that's what I'm getting. This person is it's a very unhealthy competition. You have some talents, you have some kind of skills that are showing. Maybe you didn't even know that you had this ability. Maybe you didn't even realize it. Like, wow, I could do this? What? I didn't even know I could do this. It's giving me that kind of energy. Or maybe you don't even realize you could do something and you're doing it. Maybe because you've been doing it so long, your whole life, that you don't realize that there are other people in the world who can't. Right? It's like double jointed people. They automatically think everybody else can move the way that they do, and then they find out, no, we can't. we would break if we try to do those kinds of things, right? But they're like, really? You can't do that? It's so easy. Look, I had somebody do that to me. Like, look what I could do. It's easy. I was like, what? You know, something like that. You don't even know it, but this person knows it. They wish that they could have it. They wish. But now this person, see, this is where it's becoming unhealthy. It's because now there is not just competition. Now it's them trying to be dirty, to smear your name, to put some kind of black stuff on your face. You know what I mean? Like on your name. You know what I mean? This is where this person's going too far. And what's crazy is that I'm hearing like in the past you warned this person of something. Oops. It could have been like you warned them about a relationship, or you warned them not to get involved with people, not to mess with people. Like you gave them some kind of warning in the past, and you were right. You were right. And this person found out about it too late. And instead of being like, oh, wow, Gemini really tried to help me out, instead of seeing it that way, they ended up getting angry because you were right. It was like, even though you didn't say, I told you so, they could hear it in their head. Oh, I told you so. See, I told you so. But you didn't say it. You didn't say it, but it was in their consciousness. It was in their head that you were thinking that, you know, which is crazy how some people are. And I think this person does this a lot, where they think that they know what you're thinking. And they don't do it just with you. They do it with a lot of people, where they just go around acting like they just know what that person's thinking. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? Just make it make sense. But there's some people in the world that is like that, and this person is that way. This is why they're so resentful towards you, and they're still angry with you. And they blame you even though you had nothing to do with it. And you were actually trying to be kind to this person or protective of this person. And they don't appreciate it, you know? Mm-hmm. Yep. This is giving me this vibe of you being the older, responsible, you know, motivated, older sibling type of energy. That's what it's giving me. And this is the more carefree, trying to keep up, trying to be like over you kind of energy. Like they're trying to outshine you or something, or beat you at something. And the thing is about this person is that I'm hearing like they don't realize it. They're getting exposed. Like people around are seeing them. They're seeing what they're doing. They don't know it, but people are seeing it. And people are passing judgment on this person. People are looking at them like, why are you talking crap? Why are you talking crap? Nobody's saying it to their face. People are actually rejecting everything that this person is saying. I can tell you that. They're rejecting it. They're like, what does that have to do with anything? But they're not telling this person. They're just like, oh, okay. Because you know why? Because they don't want to argue with this person. Because they know that this person will argue with them and it will never stop. Like it will never stop. They'll just keep going on and on until you shake your head and say that they're right. So nobody wants to do that. They're just like, oh, really? They don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. So they're just like, oh, wow, yeah, that's right. Gemini did get a divorce. Yeah, okay. And they're like, whatever, you know. But I want you to know, people are aware, very, very aware of everything that this person's up to. What they're trying to do, people are very aware. Nobody's listening to this person. But it's making this person more and more frustrated because they can feel it like nobody's engaging. Why they're like, oh, why isn't people engaging with me? Like, why isn't somebody pointing out something about Gemini? Nobody is. And this person is just getting more and more like, why isn't somebody joining me? Nobody's going to join them. Nobody wants to deal with that. It's nonsense. And people see that this person is trying to split the group up. If it's not a family group, this could be like at the job. It could be a group that you join, whatever it is, right? But they can see that this person is trying their best to break up a group. So some people will be like pro them and some people will be pro Gemini, but that's not how it's working out. But that's what they want. They feel like if they do it that way, that somehow it's going to give them some kind of strength, or like somehow they're going to like win one up and they're going to get some kind of yeah, like strength, strength in numbers, like it's like if somebody comes to you by himself, nobody listens. But if you have like 20 people come to you telling you the same story, then you're like, okay, well, maybe there's something here, right? So this person is trying to get more people involved, right? So they could break up this group, split it in half, right? So they feel like it's going to give them some kind of strength, or, like some kind of leverage. They're going to be able to do something and they're going to like make things right, right? They're going to like make something right for themselves. They're going to be able to like, you know, get something, make it right, or get some kind of reward from this. And you know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. This person embarrassed himself because somebody's calling them out like, oh, you're just jealous. You're just jealous. The way that you're talking, you're just jealous. Somebody called them out. They went through all these people, and everybody's like, oh, okay. And then they finally got to this one person who may be a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio, okay? They went through or maybe a Libra. They went through all these people, and finally somebody's calling them out. And they didn't just call them out like, one on one. No, there was other people around. There were other ears listening and watching. And that person felt like they were being put on the spot because that person was calling them out like, why are you so jealous of Gemini? Why are you so jealous, huh? Why every time you come over here you got something to say? Somebody called them out. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. And somebody told them, you're just trying to cause trouble in the family. We're all a happy family or a happy group, whatever this is, right? We're a happy group. And then you just want to come along and mess things up. You just want to cause problems. Yeah, they're getting called out. Now this person wants to run away. They want to get away. They're so embarrassed. Specifically because somebody specific was there and they don't like it, Somebody was watching. Somebody was there in front of them and heard this person say that to them. You know what I mean? And it made them like, ugh. Oh, two came out. It's like, ugh, Okay, 31 came out for you. It says, your approach to life is an effective mix of both practicality and imagination. Your mind is stirring with creative ideas, and you have the organizational skills to manifest them to life. I am disciplined. Telling you, you are disciplined. I feel like that's confirmation. 000 says, you are one with the Creator, and there are no limits to what you can achieve. See, and I think that person knows it. Mm-hmm. Yep. It says, you have the ability to create something new and incredible in your lifetime here on earth. I am a creator. So do put this in the comment section. I am a creator. I am disciplined. All right, guys. Catch me in the next one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment because it does help the channel grow. At some point, I am going to be giving a reward to my most on my app. It shows me like how my the people who comment the most, how many comments you make, things like that. I will be giving a reward to the person who comments the most. Okay, and not only that, but I will be eventually. I'm waiting. I need more names. Eventually, I'm gonna be giving out a Wendy's gift card. There's a reason for that, guys. The reason is one, Wendy's is hurting financially. Okay, so I want to like help Wendy's out. And I know you're thinking, why do you want to help Wendy's out? Who cares about Wendy's? Well, I'm just gonna say it. The thing is that if we let companies go out on us, okay, like if we let companies shut down, go bankrupt, what ends up happening is the companies that survive, they ended up treating us like crap. They end up doing whatever they wanted to. And as an example, I will use Spirit Airlines. Spirit Airlines was one of the cheapest ways to fly at one time. Well, now they're gone. So now American Airlines is taking their place. I don't know about y'all, but I've been hearing some terrible things. Like this, for instance, this family was traveling together. It was a mother, father, children. They're about to get on the plane. You know, they already went on their vacation. They're on their way home. They're about to get on. And then the company comes out, one of the employees comes out and tells them, hey, y'all can all go, but the 2-year-old has to stay unless y'all pay an additional 750. Like, what? Yeah, they had to pay an additional 750 so their 2-year-old could get on the plane when they already had bought their tickets. Another video I saw was a man who claims that he bought a ticket. He was supposed to fly 4 days ago. Okay, they couldn't get him on the plane, so they told him that he's gonna have to wait till the next available one. Well, 4 days later, he's still waiting. They end up calling him 4 days later and said, "Hey, we know you're trying to get home. We know that you're stuck where you are. Get this, guys. Okay, listen. Yeah, listen to this. We know you want to go home. For $1,500 more, we could get you on a plane today." He's already in another state or wherever he's at, right? He just wants to get home. He's been waiting 4 days to get home. Almost 4 days is almost a week. And then now they throw that at him that if he comes up with $1,500 more, they'll make sure he gets home. This is why we cannot let companies go bankrupt. It's important that we do not allow companies to monopolize. What's the word I'm looking for? Monopolize it, right? Can you imagine if we allow, let's say, McDonald's? Remember, McDonald's prices were crazy at one time. I know that their prices have come down, and they're doing promotions now for $1.50, like the old dollar menus now. The old dollar menus that used to be $1 are now $1.50, right? On special, right? They're doing promotions. They're trying to get people to come back in, right? But can you imagine if they didn't have any competition? If they don't have competition, guess what happens? They'd be like, "Oh, these dollar menus that we used to get for $1." They'd be like, "Oh, come over here and get your. It's on sale right now for $5." That's what's gonna happen if we let somebody corner the market. That's what happens. This is why I was, trying to help Wendy's out. Plus, too, I'm Team Wendy's. I love Wendy's. So when I found out that they were struggling, I'm like, oh no, not my Wendy's. So, anyways, that's why I'm doing that. So, if you love Wendy's, comment. And then at the end of your comment, just put like, somebody had did it actually yesterday, and I thought, oh, that's a good way of doing it. They put their comment, and at the end, they just put Wendy's with a heart. So you could just join the raffle by doing something simple like that. If you just put down just about Wendy's, apparently, I don't know why, but they're taking those comments off. It's a good thing I got the names already, though, right? But they're taking the names off, so I don't know why. They're taking the comments off. So, comment, it could be anything like, hope you feel better, Ninja, or whatever, and then just put a heart with Wendy's, something like that, okay? And this is why I'm trying to promote Wendy's, guys, okay? Anyways, guys, catch me in the next one. I hope I explained that. I hope y'all are on board. Let's save Wendy's, okay? All right, guys, y'all take care. Don't forget to comment. Bye.